This gelatinous pork-built bastard with the crunchy crackling is back at it again. This time in an article in which he calls head coach Deion Sanders morally bankrupt. There's no level of buffoonery that this man won't stoop to just to get a couple cases of milk-bone dog biscuits in his pantry. I swear, Jason Whitlock, as long as this earth rotates and as long as the God that I serve allows me to draw breath on this same earth that he created, your fat, rotund, roundhouse ass is going to be in my crosshairs. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care where I have to go. But your fat ass, sir, is going to be in my goddamn crosshairs because what you're doing is unacceptable. And this unabashed, unapologetic buffoonery that you're putting on for the masses is not only unnecessary, but it's full of lies. It's full of projection. That's the stuff you do. Because that's what the people on the right, and yes, Jason Whitlock is a staunch Republican who hates the keys on the piano because they're black, who hates black pepper. Yeah, this dude, along with his cohorts, co-conspirators, and co-defendants, will sit up here and project their insecurities and their transgressions on the other people. Morally bankrupt. You got the audacity to call somebody bankrupt? Especially morally bankrupt? You, Jason Whitlock? Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. This what this individual has to say when it comes to Deion Sanders. Deion is expressing a feminine, morally bankrupt worldview, and he's passing it off as confidence and false bravado. He's either so devoid of self-reflection and understanding of the big picture that he doesn't know what he's doing, or he knows exactly what he's doing. He's dressing up a harmful worldview, a feminine worldview, a demonic worldview. He's dressing it up and calling it Christianity, and it bothers me. Now, people hate Jesus Christ. So people who walk in the light, people who present themselves as what they do, how they carry themselves, and their actions all are congruent with each other. There's not a situation that you can point to where you caught Deion Sanders in a lie or you caught Deion Sanders in some kind of hypocritical situation. You have not identified any of that, and yet you continue to go in this massive jihad against a man who has proven that he can win in any situation that he's in. Because see, that's what Jason Whitlock is not doing. He cannot prove to you in no scenario that Deion Sanders is what Jason Whitlock is projecting him out to be. He can't prove it. He has no evidence. And yet he's out here in the atmosphere spotting this diarrhea of the mouth. Now, shout out to my brother Ticket. Ticket did a video in which the modern day Sherman Klump had on Warren Sapp, another notorious butt dancer, and a guy who should be in prison right now for stealing all that money out in Mississippi, and Brett Favre. Now, to their credit, Brett Favre and Warren Sapp are both Hall of Famers. However you feel about them personally, you can't take away the fact that they're both Hall of Famers. They're trying to tell this guy who wants to be in the good graces of white society and who wants to want the Cronkite Award, but he would never even come close to sniffing the Walter Cronkite Award, let alone winning it. And yet, this dude, Sherman Klump, who interviewed Donald Trump with that chia pet on top of his head when Donald Trump was president and giving him all them goddamn softball questions and shit. Trying to tell this dude what Deion Sanders is all about. Hell, Warren Sapp was at the damn football practices with Deion Sanders, so he saw firsthand how Deion Sanders operates. So if anybody that has seen the information and has seen firsthand how Deion Sanders move, you would think that this 3-chin fat mouth would actually take some notes and listen. But instead, he just digs his heels and just continues to go on this goddamn hitting tour of Deion Sanders. And I think that's disgusting. Once again, you should not be speaking on sports, Jason Whitlock. You should be a Travel Channel correspondent. So whenever you're in Miami, you can recommend us the best goddamn Cuban sandwiches, right? Or you're out in Memphis, out in Beale Street, consider you in damn Tennessee right now, you can let us know the best barbecue spots. Or you're out in Nashville, you can go out to Nashville and recommend to us which spots got the best Nashville hot chicken. Shout out to Andre Williams for his donation to Super Chat. I really do appreciate the love, sir. That really means a whole lot to me. If you want to donate, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. Once again, shout out to Andre Williams for his donation to Super Chat. General salute. Anybody can course correct. If Deion course corrects, if he hears this is a pretty big receipt I am writing, Deion, if he hears this is authentic criticism and course corrects or just self-evaluate, reflect, a 56-year-old man is a system that other adults calling him prime, some materialistic nickname. A 56-year-old man running around with gold chains like he a 19-year-old rapper. This is a level of insecurity and false bravado and frightening. No, see, what you're doing is you're trying to make Deion Sanders out to be someone that's in your image. You want him to be someone like a Tony Dungy, where he's just humble and thankful and grateful for the opportunity. And yet, y'all sit up here and call people woke, and y'all sit up here and say people are indoctrinating and people are brain. What the fuck are you doing? Huh? You sitting up here talking about people out here indoctrinating the youth and people out here brainwashing the youth and all that. What the hell do you think you're doing right now? You don't think what you're doing is indoctrinating or a feeble attempt to? You don't think what you're doing right now is trying to poison the youth and trying to corrupt Deion Sanders and all that? You don't think what you're doing is unethical, right? But you supposed to be some down brother, right? No, you a down low brother, Jason Whitlock. I can't see and understand for the life of me that every time when it comes time to shit on a black man or shit on a black woman, because you had no problem railing against Brittany Griner, you had no problem railing against Serena Williams, you had the audacity to say that Serena Williams is fat. Did you look at the mirror? Huh? Did you look in the mirror? You call Serena Williams fat? Whew. Jason Whitlock, you got a lot of nerve, buddy. You got a lot of nerve. Did you look at the mirror? Did you look in the mirror? Did you do a self-evaluation of the flubber that hangs off the side of your arm and the titties that jiggle every time you take a step? I can't trust you to run except to the nearest buffet, but outside of that, your titties jump up and down when you take a step. It's like that LL Cool J back that song, that LL Cool J song back in the day. It's Jiggle It Baby, go ahead, baby. It's Jiggle It Baby, go ahead, baby. That's what your titties do when you walk around this goddamn society. So it's the fact that you sit up here calling Serena Williams fat, that's beyond laughable. But this is your playbook. This is your MO. This is the thing that really tickle your asshole at night with a feather. That you will sit up here and continue this nonstop jihad against Deion Sanders. This man ain't doing nothing to you. He ain't even thinking about you. When Deion Sanders wake up in the morning, he don't got Jason Whitlock to study. I mean, shit. I'm gonna continue to defend Deion Sanders. I'm gonna continue to defend him because he didn't do anything wrong. This man has coached on so many levels that we don't know about. This man is a winner, and people want to play for him. His kids want to support him. His kids know that his kids know that Deion Sanders have their best interests at heart, and they are more than willing to support him. They are all in. Every last person from the team captain all the way down to the last player on the depth chart. Every last one of them is moving in the same direction he is because they believe in him. They believe in the vision. They believe that he can take them places where nobody else can take them. And yet you got a problem with that. All you want to do is bring your fat ass on camera and start spouting off some diarrhea and my projected things onto him that he's not even remotely close to being. You look, as I alluded to in the beginning of this stream, as long as God that rules the heaven and the earth allows me to be on this same earth to draw a breath, your fat gelatinous wrecking ball bulbous ass is going to be in my goddamn crosshairs. I don't care how long it takes. I will be chipping away. Well, actually, I can't chip away, but I can get a machete and strip away all that fat that covers your goddamn body. What's up, Kevin Wedderburn, B Skrills, Michael Lewis, everybody that's in the building, my sister Unique Dawn. Appreciate y'all for being up in here, tapping in while I going on this goddamn. This dude, man, I'm telling you, man, calling him a buck dancing sellout is not enough. Okay, you're not even beginning to scratch the level of touching a nerve when it comes to this fuck. Okay, matter of fact, he wears his buck dancery with a badge of honor. So you got to be careful calling him a buck dancer sellout because he'll actually call that a compliment. Deion wrote an autobiography, a memoir, and confessing it that he contemplated suicide. And I've watched his behavior and I go, yeah, I can see that. So you're gonna so let me get this straight. This man in his autobiography says this, and instead of giving the man support, you want to sit up here and dunk on the man when he's down. You're disgusting. There's no level of disgusting. Oh Lord have mercy. And I've watched his behavior and I go, yeah, I can see that this man is incredibly insecure. Nobody with his level of accomplishments, his good looks, his charm should be beating their chest constantly. Look how great I am. He never said how great he was. You have never heard him go in there and talk about, look how great I am. Look at me being this prima donna. No, that's what you do, Jason Whitlock. You got to put on your used car salesman tactics out in the public. Some of you will misinterpret some of the things I do on the show. I come on the show and I crack jokes about how good I look. I'm self-deprivation. I'm overweight. I'm in my 50s. I'm not a Deion Sanders. This is me cracking a joke, blah, blah, blah. Deion has no humility, none. And it's frightening. It's beneath the character of a 56-year-old. If you live long enough, if you're watching the signs of what's going on with you and the world, you should have been humble by now. And Deion is not humble. It's dressed up Christianity and it's offensive to him. This is what he said on his goddamn right wing nut toilet, fearless. Now, on the previous video, I said something about him being fearless, so it's worth reiterating. You're so fearless that you willing to run from the public when the public confronts you about all that bullshit you be saying. But you're fearless. That's pretty, oh, that's stretching the truth way beyond imagination. You being fearless, when I've seen you go on podcasts and literally run from callers, like my brother Ticket did. When Ticket confronted you about all that bullshit you saying, you ran in the corner like a little bitch, and you probably went and got some nachos and put the goddamn camera on or put the damn microphone on mute so you wouldn't have to hear it. That's what you do. You is a Lord have mercy. Look, this ain't the damn medieval times where people who 56 years old can just be programmed a certain way and do certain things. What's up, Too Raw? Of course not. Of course, Jason Whitlock ain't gonna talk about that. Why? Because them the same people who he needs to, fuel his funnel cake. Them the people he need to fuel his next hot dog eating binge. So of course he's not gonna say anything about that. Like I said before, this man is, if anybody who is morally bankrupt in this situation, is Jason Whitlock. So what he gonna say when Colorado beats Nebraska today? Huh? What's he gonna say? Cause see, when it comes to Jason Whitlock, he got all the smoke for the brother, but none for the other. He's like the male version of Toronto Burke. And we all know how, if you follow my channel for any length of time, y'all know how I feel about Tyrannosaurus Burke. She'll sit up there and talk about, well, it's my job to hold these black men accountable. And then when it comes to holding the dominant society accountable, well, what is it my job to go after everybody who's done something wrong? That's the Jason Whitlock effect. Now, some people might call Tyrannosaurus Burke KRS-One baby sister or KRS-Two. Wherever tickles your fancy, makes no difference to me. All I know is she's an unattractive dinosaur running around here in today's society with all that goddamn creator look like she survived the goddamn termite invasion. But anyway, I mean to be going on soapbox about goddamn Toronto Burke. Jason Whitlock, you are disgusting. There's no level of buck dancing that you won't stoop to. There's no level of shoe shining there's no shoe that you won't shine with your hockey stick. What is it about Deion Sanders that keep you up at night? What is it about Deion Sanders that causes you to have biscuit crumbs all over your shirt in the morning? What is it? There's nothing that you have said that comes even remotely close to being true about Deion Sanders. All this is nothing more than lies and projection. You have not delivered not one shred of evidence that support all that stuff you're saying. Cause see, everything Deion like exactly too raw. You beat me right to it. Everything Deion Sanders is, he's not. Cause see, Deion Sanders, to his credit, got one of the baddest women I ever seen in my life, and Tracy Edmonds. Babyface, you fucked up. Who Jason Whitlock dating? Huh? Who Jason Whitlock dating? He ain't got no game to be attracted to no female. I got more game in my pinky finger than this gelatinous gargantuan giant has in his whole goddamn body. With that chia pet on top of his head. Deion Sanders is a winner. Jason Whitlock is a whiner. Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer. The only man to have competed in a World Series and a Super Bowl. And you don't think these kids pay attention to that? You don't think that this a man that they've seen do it on the highest of levels, and you don't think that with his work ethic, with his principles and his teaching, that they can't get to the same level as he can if they do the same thing? If they duplicate Deion's work ethic, if they duplicate Deion's principles, if they duplicate Deion's resources, you don't think they can't reach that level? And that's supposed to be arrogant? Why not? Why not be arrogant? Look, if what you do and what you say is in congruence and has resulted in something being positive, why not? Why not display this false bravado that you project? It ain't false bravado. It's as a person having confidence in themselves and believing in themselves. It is not false bravado. Having false bravado is something like what you do, Jason Whitlock. You sit up there and demonize and criticize and point faults at people all day long, and yet, what has that resulted in? All that shucking and jiving, all that spit shoe shining, all that go running, selling up the mountain, all that pork chop preacher pulpit pimping you doing it on your show every day on goddamn YouTube. What is that translated to? Huh? What is that translated to? A whole bunch of mindless numbskulls that'll sit up there and agree with Jason Whitlock. See, when Jason Whitlock gives assistance with the black community, he's spot on. I mean, this is almost indescribable at this point with this guy. You sit up there and demonize and criticize Deion Sanders all day long, and yet Donald Trump doing all this stuff, committing all these crimes, and yet you found a way to interview this man when he was president. You even had Brett Favre on your show. Brett Favre, the same Brett Favre I alluded to on the stream earlier, that should be in prison right now for stealing all that money in Mississippi. And yet, you defended that man. You defended Jason Aldean. When Jason Aldean came up with that racist song, Try That in a Small Town, and that resulted in black folks taking chairs to white folks' heads and all that, right? You still did defend that man. talk about the song wasn't racist, even though it was in the town where they filmed it at that courthouse where a black kid was being lynched. But yet you sit up here and will defend goddamn Jason Aldean. You defend Jerry Jones when Jerry Jones was exposed for being in a photo back in 1957, and people was calling his ass to the carpet about why was he there, what was he doing there at that time, and all that. And what was your go-to talking point? Well, it was Joe long ago, and 56 years ago. That was 56 years ago. It was a long time. People need to get over it. Blah blah blah. Black folks is screaming for reparations. What your cooning ass would do? Your cooning ass will sit up there and the first thing you talk about is how black people shouldn't get reparations. So your track record, sir, and I'm just talking about recent track record. The overall one, I need to write like 3 novels to view your overall track record of buck dancing. I need like 3 long fucking novels. But just your recent track record of buck dancing, sir. And when you come in, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button and support the channel because we moving to 2,000 subs, whether you like it or not. We trying to get to 2G. But anyway, Jason Whitlock, your recent track record of buck dancing is pretty astounding, to say the least. And yet you want to sit up here and continue to demonize a man who in 27 minutes is going to take the field and going to put that ass whooping on Nebraska to go to 2-0 in this home opener. He wins this game today, he would amass more wins already than they did all year. Because they already matched the win total that they had last year in one game. For those who may not be aware, Colorado Buffaloes have not been good for a long time. They have not had this much buzz in a long time. They won only one game last year, and in 1 week, he was able to match their whole win total from last year. And if they beat Nebraska, which I fully expected they will beat Nebraska, they would have already surpassed their win total from last year in just 2 weeks. So what you go say then? Huh? Colorado Dispatches of Nebraska, what you go say then? Don't worry, I'll be watching. I ain't got nothing but time. I'll be watching throughout these days or these tough times I'm in, while I'm trying to hustle and bustle. I'm trying to scramble to make ends meet and all that, and try to survive out here in these streets and all that. Don't worry, I'm gonna find like 5 to 10 minutes to dig up an article of you shitting on Deion Sanders, and when you do that, I'm gonna come right on here and put my proverbial foot in the crack of your stinking ass. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey! You know I subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Share these videos on your social media platforms. I thank everybody for watching. I thank everybody for tuning in. Without you, there would be no me. And I really do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who follows me, everyone who don't follow me, everyone who like me, everybody who can't stand the sound of my voice. I thank you anyway. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt.